let's talk about some useful programs you can use to overcome the communication barriers you may have with some suppliers in China. As in, you know nothing in Chinese, but you still want to communicate with them to do business. Now, one of the most common ones that I like to use is on a browser like Google Chrome, where they have a Google Translate plugin in the settings to change anything you want to English, but sometimes the UI will be kind of finicky. What do I mean by that? You simply go to the top right here, 3 buttons, right? And then you go to settings. Under settings, you want to go here into the language. And in the languages, you want to activate Google Translate. You want to make sure it's active. Now realize that you will need a VPN if you're inside of China to do this, because this only works outside of China because Google Translate is actually blocked inside of China. So if you're in China and this is not working, that's probably why you need to activate a VPN. So in this case, I chose my language to be English, but you can change it to whatever language you want it to be. You can automatically translate these languages and etc. So once you have that activated, there should be a little button up here that shows up that says Google Translate, and that means you're good to go on your desktop. So here I am on 1688. 2 ways you can activate it. The first one is right click somewhere on the screen, and there should be a translate to English button here. So right click, translate to English. Voila! That is one way to change everything to English, and yeah, it is it's kind of iffy. You can see the UI kind of gets messed up. It's not exactly how the wording should be. But if you scroll down, everything is in English except for images. You can also, if you want to right click, you can also click here and select translate to English. This should be your default language. Of course, you can go to the settings and change your default language. Mine is in English. So I will click here, select translate to English. Ta-da, it's in English, but I want to keep it in Chinese because of the UI. So if I want to talk to suppliers, if you're using the desktop, you can talk to the little blue guy here. This will open a page of the suppliers. Along Google Translate with Google Chrome, when talking to suppliers, you can use this Google Translate. Right now, I think my VPN is connected in Hong Kong, so everything is in Chinese, but it will be in English if your default language is in English. And here you want to communicate with the suppliers. So let's say you want to say, how much does it cost to buy a sample product? And can you ship it overseas? So this would be in English. I made it so it's automatically detecting what language it is, and it gives me, I want this one, traditional Chinese. This is all in simplified Chinese. So then I just click copy, and then I paste it, and there you go. And when the supplier talks to you, you can just copy it, paste it, and then it will translate it to English for you, whatever you pasted. So that is one of the most essential tools I use when communicating with suppliers, is definitely the Google Translate tool when using a desktop computer. What if you just want to communicate with them on your phone? Microsoft Swiftboard. So I'm going to be showing you on my phone how that would work. Let's say I want to type something in Chinese. I can activate Microsoft Swiftboard. So here, Microsoft Swift Keyboard, it can be downloaded through the App Store. I think there's also a iOS version, Microsoft Swift AI Keyboard. So how does it work? Once you have it activated, you need to go to your settings and keyboards and have it activated. I'm going to get out of this for a second. So here you can see there's a translation tool right there. I'm going to click there and say, hello, how are you? So you see I'm typing everything in English, but I have it set so that it translates everything to simplified Chinese. No one really says ni hao ma, but you get the point. And yeah, the way it says way, it's like how you pick up the phone, but you get the point. That is a way to communicate with the suppliers without having to go back and forth between Google Translate and talking to suppliers. So it says, I want to ship this product to the United States. Give it a bit. Yeah, it's okay. It's good enough. It's good enough. And that is a way that you can communicate with suppliers directly. Microsoft Swiftboard, completely free to use. Nothing crazy there. So what's another tool you can use if it's on your phone or on your desktop? Well, you can use WeChat. As you can see, I was just on the WeChat platform. If you have your settings set to English, so you go to Me, Settings, and then under Settings, you go to General, then Language. I have it in Auto, but you can set it to English, or you can set it to other language. Whatever you set it to as would be the default language. And once you have it set, like in my case, I have it in English. If someone were to type anything in Chinese, you can long press and translate, and then it will say what it is in English. Same with the desktop version. You right click, click translate, and it will translate everything to English just like. So that's a really handy tool to use, just simply WeChat if you were to use anything for translation and communication with your supplier. Now there's one more tool to help you for marketing materials that you may see on 1688. Like let's say you see a bunch of products that you like that you want to change maybe the Chinese into English. And this is something I recently found out. It's not free, but they have a free trial where you get like a certain number of calls that you can use. And essentially what it does is that it's called Ghost Cut, right? And you can get your videos and photos, either the text removed completely, or you can translate the Chinese to English in videos or photos. It's really cool what it can do. If you have a video, like let's say you have a marketing video from a product that you want to sell, that's within 6 minutes or less, or you just want to have the photo that they use for marketing, or what its features are, etc. You can have like the image translation tool where you simply put the photo here in Chinese and then it will translate everything into English. It's quite cool, and it's something that I came across recently that I'm going to be adding to my website. So all the marketing materials can be in English for you guys to use. If the supplier, let's say, doesn't have the source file and they want to allow you to promote their goods, this is a solution you can use. Actually change all the artwork using AI from Chinese to English, or just removing it entirely and adding your thing. I hope you learned some tools that you can use that mainly are free that can help you communicate directly with the suppliers or to change any UI from Chinese to English. If you want to know a method on how to buy directly from the supplier, the fastest way without using a passport or dealing with WeChat Pay, watch this video right here.